What is up, you guys? Welcome back to the Weapon Collective. My name's Jeff, and very first video of 2026. So very happy to be out here on this gorgeous January day. It's nuts. This is not the weather we should be having, but I'm glad we have it because we have a gun that I've been very interested to get for a long time. We are looking at the long-awaited NOX9 from Jacob Grey. So they went from the TWC to the TWC Black to the Hex to now their flagship gun, this NOX9, 5-inch, comped, ported, beautiful gun. Aesthetically, they knocked this thing out of the park. Looks fantastic, comes in a very cool case, and I think they did a really good job with the packaging, the aesthetics. Now, all that's left to do is get this thing out, put some rounds through it, and see how the thing actually shoots. That's what matters at the end of the day, most of all anyway. So, very excited to have it. Perfect day for it. Let's go shoot this thing. Oh. Okay. Feels good. Let's put some more rounds through it. Whoa. See how it is lefty. I usually don't wear a glove on my left hand when I'm shooting. Too late. Ooh. Where the hell are these things ejecting? Keep hitting me in the hat. So I'm interested. I did put the 7-pound spring in here. It ships with a 7, 8, and a 9. I put the 7 in. I think it'd probably be worthwhile to test each spring and see where it's really probably the ideal sprung weight on this gun. But at 7, it might be not getting back down to 0 as much as it should. Probably throw the 8 in, give that a test. All right, so just swapped the spring out, started with that 7-pound, put in the 8, and it did ship with the 9-pound in it, and I just went to the 7 and figured let's work our way up, see what feels best. So here's the 8, let's see if it makes a difference. I was getting some ejections that were hitting me in the hat. Shouldn't do that. 8 feels better. Oh, can't get that slanty guy. But yeah, the 8 feels better. The 7-pound just was recoil, like returning about here, and just having to push it down. Whoa. Okay. So it makes me curious what the 9 would do too. I'm not exactly sure where this is returning. 9 might push it a little far down with my light, but I think so far between the 7 and the 8, the 8 feels better. And I didn't notice getting hit in the hat with any ejection, so probably a better pattern there as well. But I will say just immediate kind of what I'm noticing shooting the gun. The grip on this thing has a really exaggerated hump back here, and it really digs into your hand. Palm of my hand, I mean, maybe you can even see the X pattern in there. But the shooting, I would say this is a little sharp on this main spring housing. I would maybe take that down a touch because it really digs into you. And that's, otherwise, it's funny because that's where the most of the grip is on this grip, is right on the main spring housing. And then the rest of it, I'm not getting a super grippy texture. It's fine, but it's almost just overly aggressive on that main spring housing. Grab some more mags, and do some more shooting. Okay, at the 7, gonna run a bill, and I probably should have tried this with the 7-pound spring first, so we'll see what happens with this one. I'd just be interested to see the different spring weights and what they do. But we are gonna be at the 7, running a bill, and this will give me a more accurate assessment of what the spring should be. But it felt like the 8 was running more in line with what how it should be sprung. But let's see. Oh, I just had one, like my finger quit working. So 220, and I threw one high. Was it? Oh, it was 7. So sorry, I just got back from a 2-week vacation where I didn't handle a gun the entire time. One of the longer periods of not shooting that I ever have, and I can't even count. So we start off with a 7. We'll say the 6 were in, the 7th was out, right? Sounds right. So that would be a 194 clean. That's clean at a 185. All right, all right. Noxy, I like it. Oh, I just had a hiccup, but they're all in. 201, even with a tremendous trigger hiccup. Very controllable gun, and I'm gonna say the 8 seems to be the right spring. Everything seems to be returning right at 0, but does make me want to play with the 7 and the 9 as well. Ooh, threw one high. It's just my trigger finger getting going, man. That was clean at a 199. The 8 feels perfect. I do want to throw that 9 in and just see. Let's put the 9 in. I'm gonna guess that I'll start dropping them, but let's see. Just pure science experimenting. We are going to the 9-pound spring. This is the spring that the gun shipped with. So maybe this is what they consider to be the best spring. I don't know. I'm assuming after shooting that 8-pound and them all feeling like this gun was returning right to 0, I feel like this is gonna overcorrect and dip a little bit, but we'll see. Maybe this is what they shipped the gun with. And I'm assuming it's a 9. They have the 7 and the 8 labeled in the box, and this is the red spring, but their other spring weights aren't consistent with other color codes I've seen. So I'm guessing it's a 9. I don't think they have a 6. Oh, that was just me on the trigger, but 210, they didn't drop. Whoa, there I got that big old extended mag release. That's my high grip. So that was a 195 clean. I'm not noticing a big difference here. Maybe the slide doesn't cycle quite as fast. Through one, 184, not clean though. A lot of A-zone hits, I'm happy with that. That was just getting the grip on this gun. The grip shape is a little different than I'm used to. Oh, dropped one. So that is more consistent with what I would think a heavy spring would do, but hasn't done it so far, so I'm gonna chalk that up to me. Oh, dropped one. Yeah, 191. One more. Let me mark these though. I like the 8. Seems a little faster too. Oh man, I might have to take that off. Oh, it's backing out, that's why. So the screw on this extended mag release, see how it's backing out? You can see that gap. Needs to, well, anyway, this was backing out. Need a little thread locker on there. And so once it backed out a touch, I have such a high grip that when my support hand will just press on that and drop mags. Nice fun stuff. See if tightening that thing back all the way in will prevent me from dropping mags. Oh, just that damn trigger finger, man. But I'm gonna say it didn't do what I thought and drop as many. There are a few, but I still think the 8 seems to cycle the fastest and be the best weight for this gun, this ammo, and my grip. Let's pop the 8 back, or should we run it with a 7 and see what happens?
Do one with 7.
Yeah, let's try the 7. All right, so the last spring to play with is going back to the original 7-pound, which I put in the gun last night. And let's just see what it does. I was not really correct about the 9-pound. I thought that would tend to drop more. Most of them were in the A zone, dropped a few, but I'm guessing this one will be high. But let's see, who knows? Nope, 194. Shit, 201. Oh, that was me. That was me. Oh, I just can't get the trigger going, but 194. So sub 2, I'm happy, man. Oh, I dropped one, never mind. Is that a new one? Yeah, it is. Yeah, that was clean, 185. So that's, yeah, that's clean. So similar time, I did a 185 with the 8, right? Yep. Yeah. So I don't know, now it's just confused me even more between the 7, 8, and 9. I think the 8 has the best cycling speed, but I'm gonna throw the 8 back in, continue to shoot it. It felt the best shooting steel, and just getting that return just felt the flattest. So I'm gonna go back to the 8, even though the 7, 8, and 9 all perform fairly well on the bill drill. It's a good, I mean, it does shoot very nice. The recoil impulse, very flat. The part of it is just me getting used to shooting after 2 weeks of not even touching a gun. So getting that trigger finger going. The one thing I will say, and I'll talk more about this in the outro, but the grip is not as grippy as I thought it was gonna be. So coming out of the holster, a lot of times had a pretty poor grip. We did this in the top 5 series. I'm not gonna transition, but I'm just drawing to first shot on an A zone at 25 yards. Just wanna see getting this gun out of the holster with this grip, presentation, and maybe I'll even try to do doubles from here if I'm getting hits. But I think it's a fairly good assessment of the gun. Woo! Just a poor assessment of myself. 134. 131. 134. So I was getting like 120s with but I was shooting a lot. 118. Ooh, just left. Just right. 126. So the grip is interesting. That's probably my least favorite thing about the gun. It's not a comfortable grip. 117. Try some doubles here. Oh, not the second one. Can't get that second one. Target's moving. Doubles are where the grip is more important. You can have a pretty piss poor grip and get away with one. But doubles, there we go. 170. Oh, just high. 171. There we go, 161. Okay, all grip, all grip. 165. Woo, missed them both. There we go, 163. So I'll take that, 1.6s for me. I don't know what a good person would do, but I'm okay with that. 131. Ooh, they're a little wild. Ooh, a little low. 135. 128. That's faster than two hands. I'll take a few of those. Let's just shoot here. Man, I mean, the gun with that 8-pound spring feels really nice. When at presentation, having a good grip, not having to deal with like getting a grip, shoots really, really pleasant, no doubt. Let's go over here. That? So, no, it just had, I think it was a light primer strike. But the sun, that's what makes it hard, really smoky. And my dot was too low, but it is a good flat performer. Let's go to 100. Test that out. Okay, at the Mazda, you know what that means. So, not an ideal time of year with the sun backlit, but we're gonna see how many hits at 100 the NOX9 can get. Oh, that was me. Okay, I think I know where it needs to be, so one mag is a test, this one counts. $13? Not great. It's like middle of the road. But a lot of, I mean, it's us. There were a lot of those. I think I just didn't get a good trigger press. I did end up taping up the main spring housing. This is so damn sharp, man, that it's very uncomfortable. So that, we'll see. This is a little slick now. Need somewhere in between the tape and the raw metal, but it's just that main spring housing is spicy. Shreds my palm. So not comfortable at all on the main spring, but see if this tape, how it works. Now let's go do some reloads. All right, 1R1s with the Jacob Grey Nox 9. Let's see how she does. That was a 206, that was dog shit. Ooh, 149 with a miss. It's always interesting just going from different guns. They have all their own little quirks. They're all similar, but they're all very different too. Oh, couldn't get that. Oh, I had it.
Gotcha.
That one bit my finger. Oh, that's what it is. You know what?
Backing out again?
No, these magazines, like little pro tip, at least for me in my experience. Magazines with this base plate on them are way harder for reloads than magazines like this. So always have your reload with one of these Atlas mags. And you don't, there's just more potential to pinch your finger in between the base plate and the mag well as well. Little things like that, and the extra weight on the bottom of the mag makes it, it just does some weird stuff for me. 181, so all slow. After a 2-week break, this is some rust I gotta knock off. Oh, miss, 154. 150. Oh, 154. 148. But that's a long way from 126, dude. 141. Dude, some days it's just harder than others. 142.
You're right on that beat.
I know. That was as close as it gets. So that's it. Not great reload session, but not horrible. 140. Can't break into the 1.3s, but for a long time, 1.32 was like the winning time. 1.42 was. So getting a 1.4, I mean, it's just your expectations, my expectations just keep getting harder and harder, but I think the 1.26 is gonna stand for a while. So, gun good on reloads. That mag release button, I got it screwed back in and Loctited it so it's not backing out. And this is a nice one, I will say that. Easy to reach, but it does not, as long as it's screwed all the way in, doesn't interfere with my grip. Because a lot of these extended mag releases I have to take off because my high grip. I dropped mags, as you saw in bill drills earlier, but that's because this thing had backed out and it was just a millimeter more and it would interfere. But right there, screwed all the way in and Loctited, it's holding. Feels good, besides this main spring housing. And then we'll talk about some other stuff, but let's, black belt patch? Let's do it. All right, at the 3 yard, because we're doing the Modern Samurai project, black belt standards. If you watch the top 5, we did this a lot at the end of every video. This is a really fun drill, I like it. 4 different shooting locations. The 3 to the body, 2 to the head in under 2 seconds. Go to the 7, you have 1 second to shoot the A zone, and then bill drill, 25 yards, 1.5 seconds to hit the A zone with 1 shot. So it's a great kind of all around test of a gun and my shooting skills. It's just a lot of fun. And one day I want a damn black belt patch. So the more reps of this I get, the better. Let's put the NOX9 through the black belt standard and see how she does. Whoa, 192, wow, okay. That felt so slow. Woo, 192. This trigger is, it might take a little getting used to. It's definitely a different trigger. Does that sound like a good enough excuse?
Yeah.
Yeah. It is weird though. Okay, past the 3 yard. So now we're at the 7, 1 second to get 1 shot to the A zone. Let's get it. This one can give me trouble, but not today. 9.3. All right. Now the bill. Okay, come on, buddy. 177, baby. All right, 25. Let's get this and wrap. Get this in 1, that would be sweet. Pressure's on now. Have I ever passed this in 1 No mullies?
Don't think so.
Yeah. Felt high, but let's check. 138. Ooh, it's right in there, dude. Right squoze it in the top. Look at that. That was him. Okay, I think that's the first time I've ever passed the black belt standard was straight through, no mullies. All good times. That was a 138, 177 bill, 0.92 on the draw to first, and a 192 on the 3 and 2. So I'd say the NOX9 performed fairly well there. Yeah, let's talk about it. Okay, just got done shooting the new Jacob Grey Nox 9. Very cool gun. I had a ton of fun shooting it, and I think it did a fantastic job, especially ending on the black belt standard for Modern Samurai Project. I don't think I've ever passed that in one swoop with no mulligans, so I'm gonna say this Jacob Grey did a hell of a job on that especially. But it also did good out of the box. I think it has a very nice recoil impulse. The porting and the comp both work very well together. Played with different springs today, the 7, 8, and the 9. I'm gonna say the 8 is the sweet spot for me, the ammo I'm running, my shooting style. I think this is a very fun gun to shoot. It's one I've been waiting for a long time, or at least seemingly. On one hand, it came in I got one in hand in a couple months, but I'm also still waiting on the initial gun that I ordered from Jacob Grey on October 1st. So me being impatient, I just finally had enough and I had to go track one of these down elsewhere. So I want to thank Lino from SP Firearms for hooking this thing up, and we'll see if the NOX9 I ordered from Jacob Grey ever arrives. But I'll figure out what I'm going to do with that when it does show up, and maybe it'll be a giveaway, maybe it'll be something viewers can win. I don't know. Cross that road when we get there. But I just mentioned that to give a shout out to SP Firearms, because I saw these guns starting to pop up everywhere and mine just never seemed to show up. So I went and tracked one down, and I'm glad I did, because getting this in hand just satisfies that gnawing urge that I've had to shoot a NOX9. And man, I really did enjoy shooting this thing, did everything fairly well. Now I am coming off a 2-week vacation where I didn't even handle a gun, so I'm a little bit rusty, but I was impressed with the gun. But being a critic and trying to judge this thing as harshly as I can, what don't I like about the gun? Well, first off, I would say the grip. When I first saw this thing, I thought that is a sexy looking grip. Texture looks nice, but when I get the texture in hand, I'd say it's too aggressive on the main spring housing and fairly uncomfortable to shoot. I actually had to tape up the back because it was just so uncomfortable, too sharp on this hump, because it is a unique shape grip as well. So I had to tape that up, and then the sides of the gun don't have quite enough texture. So I would say they could work on the texture on that. And then the thumb safeties were a little quirky. Something I haven't experienced on any other gun. When they're down in the off position, there is a little bit of sponginess to them, a little bit of give. None of my other guns do that, so I'm assuming it's some fitment issue in there where they fit these thumb safeties. I like the positivity of the on and the off. That's perfect, but when it's in the off position, it just has a little bit of give, which I don't love. But the fitment, finish, everywhere else on the gun, I really like this beaver tail, super deep cut in there. Deleted grip safety, feels very nice. Trigger is an interesting one. It's a trigger shoe. It's skinnier than most trigger shoes and a little foreign at first, but feels good. Mag release is nice. It did come unscrewed a little bit during shooting, and someone like myself with the high grip, I dropped mags and it just backed out like a millimeter, but easy fix. Just got a little Loctite, cinched it down, no more problems. And I like that there are a few guns that have extended mag releases that when they're secured properly, don't give me problems. This is one of them. I can appreciate that. Everything else, the magwell, I dig. Comp, ports, very nice. Texture on the slide, very nice. And of course, the aesthetic of this gun is just gorgeous. Now, It does come in a very cool case, which I like. Inside of this thing is super cool, except for this. They give you two 17-round magazines, which I have no use for. Give me 21-round magazines. What am I gonna do with a flush fit mag in a NOX9? I don't know. But those are my thoughts on this gun. And today, it's important to say it was a first impressions video. So I was getting first impressions. Like I said, gun shoots really nice, but I will have this out where I'm comparing it with other guns, because I think that's really where you figure out where it is in the pecking order compared to other pistols. So please stay tuned for that in the future. You'll see more of the NOX9. Comment, like, share, and most importantly, subscribe. I'm Jeff for the Weapon Collective, and I'll catch you next time. What's up with the miss, man? 155. That ain't gonna work. How many times have I done that?